Hey everyone, I'm Amber Lupo and welcome back to part 2 of my annual program on a college level gymnast. So let's get into it. So my gymnast in particular that I chose has 3 important goals that she wants to achieve. First of all, she wants to improve on all apparatuses. Her particular um, one that she is the best at is the floor. And she is currently sitting right around a 9.8 for her scores when she performs, and she wants to increase that to a 9.95 out of the 10-point scale that it's on. And she wants to improve overall in floor and her routines to become a little bit more difficult. She also wants to help her team win a championship. So this can be done by, like I said, improving those scores on the floor event, which is what she competes in, which will help her team's overall score to get higher. And baseline scores for gymnasts start at a 9.5 and increase from there. And it's very rare for gymnasts to get a perfect 10. It almost never happens. So gymnasts who score around a 9.7 are considered okay, with a 9.8 being an average score. So she's sitting at the average right now. And then 9.9s and above are considered a great score. And that would mean that they only made minor mistakes and that they only made like 1 or 2 mistakes throughout their entire routine. So also, her team has never been able to win a championship before overall, so she wants to help be a part of leading her team to a championship. So next we have her baseline information. So she is 20 years old and she is 5 feet tall, weighing 105 pounds. That would put her body fat percentage at about 21.5% and put her in the fitness category. According to the American Council of Exercise. The reason I included these elements in her baseline is because it's very important for a gymnast to maintain a certain body type and body structure. They typically are very short and weigh not that much, so that they can move their bodies throughout the air and around the floor very well. Over the years of gymnastics, gymnasts have gotten smaller. The average height for a gymnast is now about 5'1", but it could be as low as 4'9". So they're very small. They weigh very little for their heights. So that is why I included those in her baseline. And I didn't include individual scores for each event because they vary so much depending on the difficulty of the routine, the type of event that it is, and if any mistakes can occur, which obviously mistakes can occur at any point in time. So that's why I included this information in her baseline and not others. And then lastly, her exercise testing and retesting. It's very important for gymnasts to pretty much get tested in all different areas. So the first one being flexibility. So a basic flexibility test is a sit and reach test where you sit on the ground and reach towards your toes. Flexibility is extremely important for gymnasts as they are often moving their bodies in ways that normal people like you or I could not do. For example, splits, you have to be very flexible in order to do that with your body. Another element that needs to be tested for gymnasts is speed. So you wouldn't think that gymnasts really need to test their speed because they are timed on kind of 8 counts for their routines, but it is important, especially over short distances, especially when they're doing any kind of flips, such as like a back handspring or a full or a tuck. They have to be able to do that at high speeds over a very short distance. So short sprints are a good example of a way to test a gymnast's speed. And then lastly, strength and power are very important for gymnasts. Specifically for gymnasts that compete on the bars, a hand grip test is very important. You'll often see gymnasts chalking up their hands to make sure that their grip sticks more on the bars. So that becomes very important to make sure that they can grip the bars, because if they can't, then they will slip and get injured. Another one is just regular push-ups and sit-ups to help with core strength. Um, these are just a good way to test for endurance as well as strength of how many they can do. And then lastly, specifically for leg muscles, a good way to test that is a vertical jump test, just to make sure all of their muscles can be working in their legs properly. And it's important to test these when you first begin a season and then throughout the season, to make sure that the gymnasts are improving on their skills and that they're not declining, they're improving, to make sure that their skills are becoming better and get where they need to be in order to be competition ready. So that is the end of this presentation, and I hope you enjoyed.